It hit way more force than I expected. That's completely conclusive. That is utterly wrapped around.
Well, do you want to go again? We've got another melon.
Yeah, gosh, that's good footage.
Hi, it's Todd here from Todd's Workshop and Todd Cutler, and
Matt Easton, Schola Gladiatoria.
we have got another weird weapons for you. So this is where I produce something I don't know how to use. Matt may or may not know how to use it because it's always a little bit weird. But either way, we get to find out something new about a new object. And this is today's one.
Oh, wow, okay, it's a long one.
So it's a chain flail. Basically, it is a two-handed weapon, space clearing weapon, entanglement weapon, all sorts of things.
I absolutely love it. The first thing that when I look at this, I think the chains are longer than the handle, aren't they? So
significantly so, because it is not. The idea with this is it's not like a one-handed mace where you might have to correct and essentially you might end up with a weight whack in your hand. This one, you have to keep moving the whole time, so you use it like a montant, something like that. So a double-handed sword, two-handed sword. You keep the thing moving all the time, and you definitely keep the weights away from you and your knuckles.
Even if this comes down and hits here, at least it's not the weights hitting your hand, it's only a bit of chain. So.
Yeah.
And these are relatively light. So
not when you've got 1.5 metre swing on them.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, I love the look of it. And like you say, a space clearing weapon, maybe like the Montante two-handed sword. We know Mendoza says that you use the Montante and the flail similar to each other, so you keep the momentum up.
So that's quite evident. I'll put some links in the notes. There's some fantastic videos of a guy. Sorry, I've forgotten your name, but you will be in the notes. Using these, and it's absolutely brilliant. Very much big, large, fluid movements, just like a Montante. You can't. You know, when you've got a sword with a 5-foot blade on it, 1.5 metre blade, you can't just stop it. It's all just big flow movements, and this is very much the same kind of thing.
And it's interesting, if you put the weights on the ground, the tip comes up to about the same height as a two-handed sword. So yeah.
So used in a very similar way. Now, these were popular, particularly in the Iberian Peninsula, so Spain and Portugal, from around about 1400, quite long-lived, through to about 1650. You're still seeing them around. But the first thing we've got to do, Matt, is just see you put it through its moves a little bit. Now, to save Matt's embarrassment, you've never used one of these?
I've used shorter ones. I've never used one this long, no.
And you use Montante a little bit, but not a lot?
Exactly.
Yep. But a lot of the movement's going to be the same. I, on the other hand, can't do it at all. So if we can just go out and just have a little look at you spinning.
Cool.
Doing your thing.
Cool.
And then we'll find some targets to hit.
Good stuff.
So, Matt, you just mess around and, find out about it.
Cool. It's really fun. It's a little bit scary at first, especially with these three. Sometimes they collide against each other.
The video that I saw was Bjorn Rutter using them. He has 2 weights.
Yep.
But then, for instance, the picture he put up was 3 weights. Personal preference, would you go 2 or 3?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm new to this weapon, so this is literally the first time I've had a go with one with multiple weights on. Every flail type weapon I've used in the past only had one. The one thing I did find is the 3 hit against each other and can splay apart. And it's quite difficult to keep track of. Sometimes they start rotating around the end of the rotation. And in that situation, I found sometimes you just want to stop them for a second and then get going again. So I guess if you had 2, it might be a little bit more predictable than 3.
Yeah.
That being said, I think from offending someone else or a group of other people, having 3 on the end, especially if they start to go a bit wild, is probably more disorientating towards them than if there were just 2. On my kind of on-paper thinking, if you'd asked me before swinging one around, would have been that once they've got momentum to them, the 3 tend to stay together as one lump.
I would wholly agree with that.
However, as soon as one of these hits another one, I can't remember, is that a Newton's cradle?
Yeah.
You get that sort of, that effect, and then they start to splay apart, which, you know, as I say, as a user can be disorientating.
I've always seen them with the weights the same length, but actually maybe if they were like that, you might get
Yes.
an interesting different effect.
Because then they wouldn't hit against each other.
Yeah. You know, let's face it, that's the offensive bit, not the chain.
Yeah.
You're moving the offensive bit into a larger area.
Yeah, a bit like an axe head or a mace head. You've now got, you could hit someone with that area rather than just with that area.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe, yeah.
All right. Okay, well, there's something I'd just like to quickly try because one of the ways I've seen it used as well is entanglement of other weapons.
Okay.
So I've got a whole weapon here,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say this carefully. Just see what you can do against that.
Okay, so I'll stand off to the side so to minimise the chances of you being hit. Oh, wow.
Well,
there you go.
don't need to do that a second time, do we?
That's completely conclusive.
That is.
That is utterly wrapped around, especially with 3. Because
Especially with 3.
wow.
However, a bit like the sword breaker that we looked at all that time ago,
Yeah.
I am now disabled,
Yes.
as are you.
Yes. I mean, 2 things I can think. So first of all, this, in resources, this is actually a really cheap weapon.
Yes, and often it wasn't even chain, which is a relatively labour-intensive thing to do. It wasn't even chain, it was rope.
Yeah, so if you've got a civilian or someone in the militia or something like that, and your job is, let's say, for example, you're an armoured knight with a poleaxe, you can get a cheapy person to disable an expensive person's weapon fairly easily.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
I mean, that's idiot work. You can't not achieve that.
Works really, really easily, doesn't it? Far more than I would have imagined, actually. If I'm the person doing that because that's my plan, then I might have a cinque dea or whatever here. And so it's like, well, okay, person with a poleaxe or a halberd, wrap that thing up and then immediately run in with my cinque dea.
And also the weapon that he has primarily decided to go in with has now been denied him. I mean, that's interesting so far. We have our knight here. I'd like to see what happens when you connect to his helmet.
Yeah.
It's one of the fascinating things about chain weapons. Yes, that's unpleasant.
Yeah.
But actually, if that is what hits the side of his head, for instance, great, that's not very nice. But the thing is, the weights now carry on and orbit around, and they'll do the same job anyway.
Yeah.
So whether the weight strikes here or the chain strikes here, you're still going to get a great effect on it. So, yes, if you could just
in all
give them a
honesty,
headache.
my only fear with these sorts of weapons is that they can bounce back at you when you hit things. So I'll be watching out for that.
Yeah. My gut reaction in this case is not because his head is not very securely mounted. But,
Right, okay.
Let's see.
Well, I missed the helmet.
Yeah.
But it hit the body with way more force than I expected.
Brilliant.
That felt pretty solid. Oof.
And also down into the collarbone because it kind of did that. That was the damage that it did. But what I found interesting looking at that slow-mo as well is it kind of hit him about here.
Yeah.
But then the weight's got driven down into this portion of his neck here, so collarbone area and everything else. Can't really see what's happened, and he's wearing neck defences, but I mean, nasty.
So it felt really solid, way more solid than I imagined. When you consider that resource terms, I know this is a fancy pretty one, but it's, you know, it's some chain and some weights and a stick, basically. This is a basic weapon, and it really surprised me by how much power they'd actually generated, far more than I expected, given that these are actually quite lightweight.
Well, I think they're about 100 grams, a little bit under.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's a bit like a propeller blade, if you like.
Yeah.
That just in from the axle of the propeller, its speed that any point is travelling on is not that high.
Yeah.
You extend that same speed out, the revolutions haven't gone up, but the speed now, the tip speed of the propeller is massive. And it's like that. You've got 1.3, 1.4 metres of distance.
It's really a considerable amount of reach as well, isn't it? And when you consider as well with a Montante, for example, which might be as long as this, and in fairness, some aren't as long as this, but you're hitting further down from the tip, actually, with the centre of percussion with the blade. So actually with this, you are literally hitting with the tip.
Yes.
So the reach on this is really phenomenal.
So let's just say that we're a Montante blade.
Yeah.
Then your percussion point may be about there kind of thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you've got another 30 centimetres, another foot on it.
The reach is phenomenal. I know what that helmet can take, and I'm actually quite stunned by the fact that those are not inconsiderable dents.
No, well, talking of which, not inconsiderable damage on the weights themselves.
Yeah. But these are a lot cheaper than that.
Yeah, they are. As is the man wielding it, probably. But the skill required to use this properly as a montant, that is not a low-grade soldier skill. That is a knight skill.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, honestly, I'd actually be curious to know with a little bit more what I've had 20 minutes practice with this. I'd be curious to know with a couple of hours practice what probably slightly more power I could generate, but also the judgment of distance.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with any weapon, when you first pick it up, trying to judge, especially when you're only trying to hit someone with that end, hitting someone with the chain isn't going to do very much unless it's for tangling. So a little bit more practice. I'd be fascinated to know what more you can get out of this weapon. It's a really, really interesting thing. Of course, the big disadvantage with a weapon like this, you can trap and entangle. You can't really parry with it. So if someone starts swinging a halberd at you, well, I don't really know what you're supposed to do in that situation.
And if they're inside your sweep,
yeah, I mean,
that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can use that part of it to some extent. And I do know techniques in other martial arts where they do actually parry with the chains or the. So, in fact, there is a technique in Fury Delivery's treatise where he actually uses a hat or a rope, and so you block with that, and then you try and wrap the thing around. So there are techniques, but I think against something like a halberd, for example, or a poleaxe, this has definitely got some weaknesses, but it can do some things that they can't. So.
It can indeed, yeah. From your point, weird weapons, the Mangual, the chain flail, hit or miss?
I absolutely love it, actually. I absolutely love it. I think it's not good for all types of fighting, but for specific purposes, and being relatively resource easy and resource cheap, I think it's fantastic. And I've got to say that is one of my absolute favourite of all the weird weapons we've looked at. I love it, yeah.
Well, in that case, I'd say take it away, go practice with it, play with it, do whatever.
Awesome.
And just have a go with it and make some films. So check out Matt's channel. That will not be the last time you see it. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you again. I know we were supposed to have finished this film, but we forgot the melon test. Take it away.
That was obliterated. So actually, kind of the chain went through.
Yeah.
The balls kind of went through the back part, didn't they? But it looks like a projectile, doesn't it? It looks like a musket ball going through something. Gosh, that's good footage. And the birds will like that melon.
Again, Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Weird weapons, it's been brilliant.
Yeah.
And don't forget, of course, that Matt and I both have channels. Come and check out our websites. It's exactly your jam. And other than that, Patreon as well. We've both got Patreon pages. Make a great help for films like this. So, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you again.